Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended. In this video, I'm going to tell you about a huge update that Ark just is announcing literally 1 week after Ragnarok, which was already a massive change, and there's a whole bunch of like quality of life things and whole just different stuff added to the game. Now, they're kind of going back to an older style model where they're adding things on a more regular basis, which I really appreciate. Because the more you add to the game, the more the meta shifts and the more just fun things that you can do with Ark. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start talking about what has, or I guess what is going to be added. And there's some cool little things that I can speculate on, including a nice little addition that I'll explain in just a second here. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So you can see that the Ark Summer Bash has been announced. It's going to start on the 2nd of July. And this is where I'm going to start speculating a little bit. Lures, loot, and quality of life. So big thing here, in my personal opinion, is that if you look, obviously this is a different looking fishing pole, and then you've also got a different looking fish. I'm hoping, now this is a big hope, so like it might be a little bit of a stretch. I'm hoping that because of this, they're going to add some sort of new fishing scheme into the game that you can earn loot and get some actual like, because fishing would be such a huge, like it's still fun in Ark, but it's like, you know, you push some command, you get some loot a little bit sometimes, but you got to get like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. If they made an actual fishing scheme inside of Ark where there's like, you know, a little bit of talent and you can actually get some decent loot and some stuff like that, this would be a huge thing for Ark, because it'd make a lot more fun for like, you know, the hours that you have to grind, just go sit down and go fishing in the game. I don't know why people like that, but I do. So you know, it is what it is. So anyways, you can see that they just released that Summer Bash is going to come out, party like it's 2015, which is when the game released. And so it's 10 years of Ark, essentially. You can see that Summer Bash 2025, that's the logo. It's going to start on the 2nd, go for 2 weeks through the 16th of July. And then obviously you're going to have increased rates, which is really cool. You're going to have a new event creature with Slidey and Slippery Kairuku, which you can kill them in order to get popsicles, which you can craft items for the actual event. Now, they have a ton of new added items that they're adding in. And those event chibis, you can see them right over here. Those are all the ones that are being added. Straw Hat Otter, Deal With It, Dodo. I haven't seen this one before, so I'm curious if that's actually new. And then event item structures and resources, you can see Shark Jaw Trophy, Fisherman's Trophy, Wall Mount Coal, Piranha Salmon, and then the Dino Candy, which is always super popular for PvP. So those are really neat. They have a massive number of things that they are adding for event skins, which I think is super cool. You can see that they're adding a bunch of hats, gloves, boots. So it's not just like a suit. There's actually individual components they are adding, which I think is really cool. Now, the one that I really like a lot, the Squirt Gun Heavy Auto Turret, I think that's really cool. You can see the Angler's Fishing Rod. I think that's going to be really neat. I'm hoping that's what they add for like a mini game or something like that. We'll see. Sportsman's Spear Gun, I think that could be fun. But there's a bunch of like individual skins that they're going to add. Jellyfish swim shorts. I'm curious to see if it's going to make you look like a jellyfish, but we'll see. Not totally sure. But obviously they've got all the things of the past, so those are always a lot of fun. These, I love when they add new emotes. So sit and this big. So this is gonna be like a fish related one. I'm hoping this one's kind of like a taunt, like where it's like sit, like as a, I'm hoping it's kind of like a taunt, like sit down, but I'm not sure if that'll be the case. And then obviously they're going to end up adding a bunch of wild dinos. Now, the Summer Bash isn't really what even I'm excited about for this update. This down here is what I am excited for, the QOL patch that they're just going to be pushing out. Now, they said they only announced a few things that's going to be inside of this, but apparently there's a whole bunch of stuff. And let me tell you, the QOL things go hard. So you can see right here, quality of life patch with the Summer Bash, which is going to be cool. And you can see smoothing out the day-to-day gameplay and introducing some new fresh changes to the meta along the way. I'm hoping there's actual good changes. Major changes on the QOL front. I just want to show you that. So basically enabling auto run. This is going to be super cool for both PvE and PvP, because in PvP, if you can get auto run working, you can actually access your inventory while you're running, enabling you to not have to stop and kind of like do things in that regard. So it's going to make it so you can actually access inventories while you're auto running, and it's going to open up a lot of possibilities. And then this is really cool. If you hold H, it's actually going to show the armor durability on the right hand side, like a lot of mods do for each equipped piece. So that's really cool. And then for your farmers, so for everyone, Ankies, Doedicarus, Dunkleosteus are going to let you harvest a specific type of resource. So that's absolutely massive. So if you just, after metal, for example, you won't have to drop stone, things like that. That's huge. Kind of like the Dino Farm mod. It's essentially replacing the Dino Farm mod, which is really, really freaking cool. And then you can see the Anki and Doedic will also now have auto harvesting past the 50% max. This is going to make farming on Aberration so much better because you can literally farm without two people. You can just have one person constantly holding it and they're just going to keep swinging away. I'm wondering if it's going to increase their torpidity because they're going to drop their stamina over time, but it would certainly be pretty freaking cool. So, I mean, we'll see. So I'm hoping that that'll be the case. I'm hoping it's not like a super slow swing too. I'm hoping they just keep swinging away and it's kind of just how it works. But that's a massive change that people have been asking for years. So that's really cool. You can see smoothing out certain areas, reintroducing a little bit of variety. To touch on a few examples, mech blueprints are going to be tinkerable again, allowing you to get some pretty awesome mech blueprints again, but only with themselves. They had to remove that because people were combining it with other things. And then this is pretty cool. So check this out. So they're going to adjust the Tesla turret stun. I'm hoping that it's actually a little bit of a decent stun instead of like what it was. They're reducing poison damage so people can't just like spam the entrance with poison. And then turning down the HP on Dreadnoughtus, which is huge because they had like hundreds of thousands just off the rip. And then slight speed increase for Quetzals. That's huge because they're so slow, it's not even funny. And then health buffs for Spinos, Mammoths, Brontos, and a few other tweaks apparently. Now, that's going to be huge. Like that, just like one or two of those things as a whole is kind of what we're used to for tweaks. These are massive, massive changes. And then this is huge too. Phoenix are going to be breedable. A long requested addition. Yeah, so Phoenix being breedable is going to be really cool. I'm curious to see what kind of things we'll be able to change for that, because Phoenix might be pretty strong for PvP if you can increase their overall damage and then increase their stamina and health a little bit. So they could be really powerful. I'm not totally sure. I'm just skeptical on that because I've never actually played them for PvP because they weren't breedable. But I can imagine if you can get the fire and the burn techniques working, that's going to be a really strong creature. Now, apparently there's a much larger list of changes and improvements, which I'm hoping is a good thing, but obviously we'll see it as we kind of go. And it's massive. Obviously the mods spotlight is always there, and then some cool videos and stuff like that. So there is a ton of changes incoming. Now I know it's kind of disguised behind the Summer Bash, but the QOL changes, that is what I'm stoked for. And if the list is as big as they're claiming it, let's say it's like 20 or 30 different things, right? They might not even be putting anything on this QOL update that we can see that actually is a huge change. Because sometimes they're like, oh, we're doing this small change, and then people figure out how it's going to be a massive change to the game. So I'm stoked to see what they actually release, and we'll see how much it actually changes things. I am a little skeptical, but not like super skeptical. So we'll see how it actually goes. So hopefully all these gameplay changes are really nice, but we'll go ahead and see how it works. But anyways, if you don't mind, smash that button of the liking variety. Leave a comment below for that algorithm. If you have any questions, I'll try and get back to you. And if you don't mind, sub to the channel. It helps out a lot. All right, Teach.